All right, guys. Here we go inside from the couch. It sucks that we cannot go live from there must be like some kind of block or something here where we live that doesn't allow us to use YouTube here. I don't know why it does that. Because we can go live from anywhere in the United States so far. But the parking lot of our apartment complex. Redonkulous. So some kind of crazy something going on here. I don't know. So we're gonna have to not go live ever from our garages. Another reason we need to get out of here, babe.
Yep.
We found the perfect house. Perfect. It's perfect. Andy's like trying to convince himself that it's worth the move. No, it works. Everything we do from car shows, we do from other people's houses, we do from every other place we go to besides out here outside our apartment. But the minute we walk outside our apartment, it's like, no. Bad Camaro Cave. You cannot do a live. Yeah, it's the North Jersey air. I've been trying to tell him that. I've been trying, like, babe, they're telling us it's North Jersey. That's it. That's the ticket, babe. It's North Jersey. It's time for us to get out of North Jersey. Bridget said we have to come to South Jersey. Listen, Bridget, no offense if that's where you're from. I'm just trying to get out of Jersey. Okay. So looks like everybody's kind of filtering in. So we're going to try to start this over. Hopefully, as it was filming, it was just filming straight through and the buffering and all that stuff was not happening when it gets replayed back. I didn't want to keep stopping and whenever anybody said it was buffering, just because I know that it was probably like huge gaps in the playback version of this when somebody goes to watch it later. So hopefully this is learning curve. All right, so I went to open a water and it turned out to not be a water. So sorry, guys, if you see me drinking some crazy, not so much water. So we're going to hit the notes again because I don't know how much of this information I gave you and how much I didn't. So let's see what we got here. I showed you on the video where your batteries are located in the 5th and the 6th gens. And what I was trying to tell you from whatever that, what show was that we were doing from the parking lot. If you have a 4th gen, like Brittany does, or a 3rd gen or any gen before the 5th and 6th gen, and you want to know more about your battery in those gens, just off, look, Toby's on camera. Get a hold of me on the Camaro Cave at gmail.com, and I will help you through your battery issues through that and not on the live. I was not addressing any of the other gens because I only wanted to address the gens that we had sitting in front of us on camera. Now I don't have any gens on camera. So I apologize, but that's why I did it that way. I should have just done all the gens because I didn't realize I was going to be doing this from the couch. So 6th gen Camaros, your battery is 48760 CCA H6. We are going to break that number down as well as the 5th gen number so that you understand what those numbers mean and why those numbers are all there. If you have a 5th gen Camaro, your number for your battery is 94R 850 CCAH7. Now, that 760 and that 850 number in the middle, that number can change depending on your the type of battery, the output of the battery that you get. So if you get just a normal battery, that number will be a little bit lower. If you get like a higher level battery, like a platinum battery or a gold battery or like a super expensive battery, that number is going to get higher. You'll understand that more in a minute. So the very first number is going to be your BCI number, and that basically stands for Battery Control International. That is an organization that creates the standards for batteries. So that categorizes them into groups, and that's based on their physical dimensions, and the numbers are used to identify the correct battery for different automotive applications. So this is basically the number that makes sure that the right battery goes to the right fits in the right tray, it's the right size, the right height, all of those different things. Um, and you have the right amps and the right hour capacities, um, correlations between the sizes and the cases, um, and all that fun stuff. So that whole little organization, they assign that number. So the very last number, so on the 6th gen, it was H6, and on the 5th gen, it was H7. That's 6 and that's 7. Anything that is 1 through 2 is going to be a 6-volt battery, and anything 5 through 7 is going to be a 12-volt battery. Both the 6th gen and the 5th gen are 12 volts. So that's why they have the 6 and the 7 in the end of it. So you're working with a 12-volt battery. Your 12-volt batteries, when they're fully charged, and the engine is off, you're going to be looking at about 12.6 volts when you plug it in, if it's fully charged. So if you plug that battery in and you're not getting 12.6 volts, your battery is not operating at full capacity. And if it's really, really low, then you probably need a new battery. Onyx is going tomorrow to get hooked up and see what her voltage is, because I have a feeling I'm going to get some really bad news, and we're going to be leaving that battery with wherever it is that we are going to be taking her tomorrow, and leaving with a brand new expensive battery that I don't really want to give the money for, but that I'm going to have to do it because she is not behaving very well right now. And I know it's not her alternator because it looks really well. Yep, everybody smash that like button, please, and thank you. But the battery has done very well, and it has been running that car with the engine shut off, running all her lights and all that crazy stuff, which most of them I have ripped off her, but she has been running lights and all kinds of crazy stuff. It shows when she's been shut off, using this battery for way longer than she should have. So when the car is running, it should be running somewhere between 13.5 and 14.5. So when you run through your little menu and you look at the voltage, or if you look at the gauges, if you have the gauge cluster, that's what you should see on your gauge cluster if your battery is operating optimally. So let's see. What other numbers are in there? Oh, the 760 number and the 850 number. That's the number that changes when you change the battery. So if you get a different level battery, so if you go with just a normal entry level battery, or you get like a platinum battery or a gold battery, the 760 and the 850, that's a platinum level battery. So it's not quite the highest level battery you can get, It's like second to the highest. It's a really decent battery. It's really good for running push button starts, ones that have touch screens, or you're going to be running a whole bunch of accessories on the car. You've added a bunch of lights, you've put a bunch of things on there that are running when the car's not running. So, good battery for show car. And so 760 on the 6th gen, 850 on the 5th gen. Those are good batteries for you guys to be running if you've got show cars and you've added a bunch of stuff to them. So remember those numbers. And of course, guys, just call me if you have any questions and I can, or email me and I'll help you through it. That number is your cold cranking amps. Okay. It's also going to tell you how many reserve hours you have. So on the 5th gen battery, the 800 means that you have 1,000 cold cranking amps and 140 reserve hours. So once the battery has used all of everything that it can use, it's going to have 140 minutes still to go. And then on the 760 battery, you've got 950 of those amps and 120 of the reserve minutes. So all of this information is out there for you to find for each and every battery. If it's just super confusing and you're just like, oh my God, no, this is blowing my mind. I don't even know what to do with all this information. This is my car. This is what I need. This is what I want to do. Just send me all that information and I'll help you through it. Now, another thing that I find to be really important, especially since Onyx is a show car, she's not run every single day. So she sits and she also runs pulling off of that battery when the car is not running. Is I don't want a battery that is going to leak liquid. So I want my battery to be an AGM, which is absorbent glass mat. This is a battery that's designed to give you a combination of power, durability, and flexibility. It is spill proof. So it's running around through all these different levels and it's not leaking out of the battery at all. My battery has been in my car. I hate to say this. I think I figured out it's been in there for 8 years. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, a battery is not supposed to last you more than probably 3 to 5 years. And that's probably a daily use type situation. These batteries will take you, they have about 2 times the lifespan as a normal battery. So this battery probably should have like gone tits up on me right around 5 or 6 years. And I'm on 8. And it is now starting to struggle. So I'm pretty sure we're at the last leg of this battery. So I'm probably going to have to come up off of about $300 for this battery. But well worth it because I just went 8 years on this battery. And she does have the AGM in her, or better, a lot of people call them gel batteries. I don't think they like to call them that anymore because I don't know that they're necessarily gel in them anymore. But AGM is what you're looking for. And they do much better in cold weather. So if you live in a place where you have cold weather, this is a good battery for you. They're also they resist corrosion and heat. So if it's being stored and it gets really hot where you store your car, another reason to have the AGM. And again, I mentioned that they have 2 times the life cycle of a conventional battery. Now I'm saying 2 times the life of like the entry level old style batteries, not, when you start getting into the good stuff. Um, what else can we say about these batteries? I think that's probably like as technical as I can get on these. That's probably yeah, I think that's it for my wheelhouse on the batteries. Um, if anybody wants to know more about the difference between the wet batteries and the batteries, the AGM batteries, let me know, and I'll try to figure out a way to explain the difference between the two. Um, I know there's also, and you would never put this in your car, but there's also batteries that you like put water in, like those are in like forklifts and golf carts and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those. Those are fun. And if you in it, corrosion, the corrosion that I'm talking about, and like what I was trying to avoid by going to this AGM battery is, have you ever opened like an old car that's been sitting for a while? You open the hood and you see all that white, crumbly, crusty stuff. Okay, that's what I was trying to avoid. That's why I went with the AGM, and that's what I'm talking about when I say I don't want a battery that leaks. That's what I'm trying to avoid. That's the leakage I'm talking about. Is it comes out as a liquid and then it hits the air and it turns to that white powdery stuff, and that gets all over the place. You re-wet that and get that on your skin, it's acid. So that's no fun. That's not something I want to deal with. So when I had to switch the battery the first time out of Onyx, that's what I told them I didn't want to have to deal with. And so that's why I went to this type of battery. And I have been so happy with it ever since. And this will be the one in her right now is her third. So this will be her fourth. And, I leave that thing running for hours at car shows. It would go 4 or 5 hours at a time running with all the lights and music and all kinds of stuff running on this battery. Any normal car battery would just die and you wouldn't be able to start the car again. This one has done amazing. And then I could go jump another car after it was running my car. So good times. Okay, so let's talk about safely jumping a car. So I've got some steps. One, you want to make sure that your area is safe. Okay. You don't want to get hurt. You don't want to get somebody else hurt. You want to make sure that your area around you is safe. You're not wearing any like loose jewelry. Your hair is not, going to get in there and get stuck in anything, or catch your hair on fire or some crazy thing. Like girls, let's just not, or guys. I mean, guys have longer hair than me now these days. You want to be in an area where you're not going to get like, you're bending over and getting ready to jump something and like some car comes flying by and takes your booty out. We don't want any of that. So make sure you're trying to jump your car as safely as you possibly can. Once these cars, yours and whoever you're trying to jump your car with, or if you're using one of these great things, when you're trying to get this all handled, once the cars start moving, you don't want any of those loose items getting caught up in the moving parts of the engine. So safety not only for wherever you're standing and the car is sitting, but safety for you and whoever else is helping you. And you don't want the cables getting caught up in all that stuff, your clothing, your hair, anything. So just be aware of your whole surrounding. You want to inspect your cables before you proceed and get moving. So you want to have really nice, good working condition cables. I always keep all my cables clipped to a piece of plastic, so that the teeth stay nice. They're not banging around all over the place against stuff. And they're not touching each other. That causes problems too. And everything just stays really nice. So they always stay hooked to each other. These cables go to the jump box. So all of this is in this nice little bag uh, in the car. So this is, I swear to you, this has been a lifesaver for not just me, but other people as well. Like we have jumped so many things, and this can be charged by plugging it into a wall socket. It can also be charged by plugging it into a cigarette lighter in your car. So if you know that it's not charged and you're on your way somewhere, you can plug this into a cigarette charger while you're traveling, and it'll be fully charged in a couple hours. So amazing, amazing, totally worth the $100. So we'll talk about this little guy in a little bit. But for the sake of demonstration, since we're not out of the car, we're going to refer to these guys. So make sure your cables are in good condition, and then make sure that if you are jumping from another car, not from one of these handy little boxes.
We get paid by that company, by the way.
Yeah, we don't get paid by this company. We should. So NOCO, if you're out there, you really should back us up, because we sell a bunch of these for you, just so you know. And we give a bunch of these away for gifts. So if you are going to jump from another car, then please safely park as close to that car as you can. You don't want to stress out the cords, but you don't want a bunch of slack between them either, because you don't want the cords, like I said just a second ago, you don't want the cords to get caught up in either one of the cars' moving parts once the cars start. Make sure both cars are safely off the road and in park. Now, if you're working with either of the cars that are manual, then please make sure that the manual vehicles are in neutral. You don't want them taken off on you. So put those cars in neutral, please. And pull their brakes and put them safely secured so they don't roll off. All right, know your cables. So all cables that are in good working condition, and if you're working with something that's not in good working condition, good luck to you. If that's what you're working with, I get you. I feel you. If that's all you got, replace your cables as soon as you can. But if that's what you're working with, that's what you're working with. Just follow the cables and make sure that you're doing the right thing. If you can no longer tell what color they are. So one of the cables should be red. One of the cables should be black. Your red cable is your positive. It is always your positive. Your black cable is going to be your negative. Okay. That is the same everywhere. And it will be the same when you go to your battery terminal. That it's the same in every country. They're not going to turn around and flip that on you anywhere. So if your cables have faded or they're missing the covers or whatever you hook the positive to, follow the cable and make sure that when you get to the other car, you're hooking the other end of that cable to the right place. Please do not mix that up. That will be absolutely dangerous and devastating. And then please throw those cables in the trash and get a set that are marked colored the correct way so that somebody does not get hurt, because you can very, very badly hurt somebody. You can electrocute somebody. So be very careful. So red is positive, black is negative. You're going to make sure that both cars are hooked up the same way, and that you're hooking red to the positive terminal and black to the negative terminal. Okay. So when you are ready to start hooking the cars up, you want to hook up the live car first. Okay, this is important. The live car is going to get hooked up to the positive. So you're going to take the red and you're going to hook it up to the live car, so the car that works. And you're going to put that on the positive. Then you're going to run over to the dead car and you're going to hook the positive to the dead car. Then you're going to run over to the live car again and you're going to hook the negative, so the black, to the black terminal. And then you're going to run over to the dead car and you're going to hook up the black, the negative, to the black. Okay. Now everybody's all hooked up and we feel really good that everybody's hooked up correctly. We're going to double check everything. We're going to make sure that all of our cables are out of the way of any moving parts. Everybody's good. We feel really good about it. It's safe. We don't think anything's going to get caught. Nobody's going to get electrocuted. We feel good about it. Once we feel like that's all done, we've double checked our connections and everything's good. Start the working car. The car that is not dead. Start the working car. Okay, you're going to give it just a tiny bit of gas to run up the amps. It's going to transfer across over to the dead car. Give it a couple of minutes. Let it give some juice to that dead car. All right. And then you're going to go ahead and try to crank over the dead car. The dead car may not start right away. If that's the case, don't force it. Let it bring some juice over. Depends on how dead that car is. So let it keep drawing some juice from it. Give that other car a little bit more gas. Don't gun it, just a little bit of juice. Feed some more power over to the dead car. Try it again. Don't do this for more than 10 minutes. And if that car, the dead car, still does not start, it should start within 10 minutes. If you still cannot get that car to start, stop. You're done. It's not going to. Okay. You want to disconnect everything in the reverse. So you're going to start with the dead car and the negative connectors. So you're going to start with the black on the dead car, black, black, red, red, and keep everybody away from each other. And it is super important, guys, especially once you start connecting the cars, that these two don't touch. You do not want these copper parts touching each other or you'll get an arc. So make sure that they stay separate. A good way to do that is to, if you're in good condition, you can clip it to the handle or clip it to the cable or just hang on to them separately. Okay. Have somebody like keep them separate apart from each other. If your cables are not in good condition and the plastic's worn off the handles or the wires are not coated anymore, you don't want to clip them like that. But a good way to do that is to just clip them so that their teeth aren't near each other. Okay, because the minute they touch each other's teeth, you're going to have sparks flying everywhere. And if it's connected to a car, then you're going to start causing havoc with the car's electricals. It's just, oh my God. You guys, I have seen some crazy stuff happen. So just don't, which is why I have these connected to these plastic things. So I'll take it off and I'll show you. It looks like a little dog bone. So one of them clips onto this side and the other one clips onto this side. And there's like a little part in the middle that's like, please stay away from me. And it shows you kind of, like I want this side, and this is our space. Like stay on your own side of the bed. So good practice. Keep your cables and your two cars happy. No point in shorting out the two cars. All right. So if the car starts, good job, guys. Good job. If the car starts, that's great. Disconnect. Do not shut off the car that used to be dead. You can shut the other one off, but do not shut off the car that used to be dead. If you shut that car off, you're probably not going to get it to start again. So let that car run, drive it around a little bit. You got to get the alternator to recharge the battery and like get that thing juicing up again. So run that car. I would probably run that car right over to your favorite AutoZone, O'Reilly's, whatever, Costco, wherever you can get a battery. I would run that car right the heck on over there and get you a new battery. Or we'll talk about something else in a second. But I would definitely drive yourself somewhere where either A, you're safe and you can put the car away, or B, you can get the battery replaced. Walmart, whatever, somewhere where you can go and either fix that problem or put the car up and you're going to be in for the night so that you can, take care of it the next day. But do not shut it off. Don't go to the grocery store and then expect to come back with all your groceries and then the car is going to start, because it's not going to. It's not enough time. You could probably drive a 6-hour trip and the alternator will take care of the battery and it might start. But if that battery is shot, it's not going to start. Okay. So, if the battery is not the problem, so if you take the car and go to, I'm going to keep plugging AutoZone here and they're not paying me either, but I like AutoZone. I was a military wife and mother, and they have always taken really good care of military families. So kudos to them. I like them for that. And they always have been really good to us, to where if you pull into an AutoZone and they're running it properly, they will come out and test pretty much damn near anything you've got going on, and they will usually help you fix it. So if you've got a dead battery, they will help you yank that thing out of your car and put the new one back in. If you got windshield wipers that are all tore to hell, they will change them out for you right in the parking lot. Like these people are awesome. They will like come out there and just like replace whatever you got going on. Hell, I think they'd probably change your headers for you if they had enough people going, working in they're awesome. So at least the ones where I live have always been really decent. So I have always really liked going there. So here's the thing. If you can find one of them, Andy's trying to watch it too. Take the car over to AutoZone and have them hook it up so that they can test those amps that we were talking about earlier. Have them test that and see where you're falling. Is it falling over around the 12.9? Is it coming up like 4? Then it's your battery. If it's amping where it's supposed to, it's not your battery. It might not be your battery. It could be your alternator. That's a little more tricky to change. I've actually changed an alternator on the side of the road. That was no fun, but it's doable. It's a little more expensive, but it is still doable. Again, no fun, but doable. It could be something as easy as your tension being off. And sometimes that's just turning something and tightening it or loosening it or whatever, and then that could fix it. But they can test all of that for you. They can test your starter. They can test your alternator. They can test the tension on your belt. They can look at all of that for you at an AutoZone and tell you what you need. And so they might be able to get you on the road for whatever it is that you need to do. And if it's something that simple and you don't need a huge battery, maybe you just need a new belt. Maybe you just need to tighten the belt you have. Maybe you need to loosen the belt you have. Maybe your belt's shot and you just need a new belt. Who knows? Have them look at it, figure out what it is, and you might just be back on the road for something as simple as that. You may not need a $300 battery. And if a $300 battery isn't in your budget this month, maybe you put a $99 battery in to get you through the next couple of months, and you buy the $300 battery later after you've saved the money. Who knows? But at least you know what you're dealing with, right? So that's batteries, guys. And we talked about your 5th gen battery is located in the trunk. You got to pull up all those layers, get underneath your tire or whatever, and there's your battery. Your 6th gen battery is in the wall on the passenger side. Both aren't super easy to get a hold of, but how often do you have to pull your battery out of your car? So that's batteries. The other thing that we promised we were going to talk about today is car show. We're going to talk about this thing. So these guys are amazing. They have flashlights on them. They hold a charge for quite a while, and then you just plug it back into the wall and then charge it back up. This plugs into the end of it, and then you just hook it up exactly the same way that I was telling you hook up another car to it. Positive, then negative. Turn this on. It goes bloop, bloop, bloop. You start the car. It pulls a charge from this block, and it starts almost immediately. If it doesn't start, then you go to the steps that I was telling you, and you try to get the car to somewhere to test it, and you go to those ending steps that we just talked about. This is amazing. So if you, for some reason, run the battery down at a car show or something like this usually will start it right back up. I have started so many people's cars with this, it's crazy, and to include my own. Andy and I have started several of our cars with this. We've left a light on or whatever, and then put the car in the garage and didn't realize it, or just whatever. This thing is a lifesaver. This has started my Jeep. We have these in all of our cars, almost all of them. I don't think Baggy has one yet, but lifesaver. And then you just put it in the little pouch. It goes in here in this little pouch. This one's perfect for a car or a small truck like the Jeep. You might want to get a bigger one if you have a bigger truck, but this one's $100, $99, $99.99. Easy. Great Christmas gifts if you know somebody with a car that's has everything in their life. Great gift. Keep it in your car, put it underneath the seat, glove box, whatever fits in the glove box. Great. Love it. All right. So the other thing that we said that we were going to talk about was car show etiquette. And just a few quick steps on car show etiquette. Just basic rules, guys. Running through them really fast. One, don't touch other cars. It's not your car. I usually save the most important thing for last, but with this, I think I'm just going to open with it. Don't touch somebody else's car. And this is things that I think people need to know. So if you know somebody who needs to hear this, then tell them, hey, sign on to the Camaro Cave's car show etiquette, and tell them hey, this is just common knowledge. This is something that I think you should show your kids or teach your kids, but don't touch the car. It's not yours. Don't touch it. Don't get in it. Don't drive it. Don't try to drive it. Don't take pictures in it. Don't sit on the hood or none of that. It's not yours. You're not making payments. You're not leasing it. It's not your car. So don't touch. Don't touch. It's not yours. Don't talk trash about somebody else's ride. It may not be your cup of tea. We're Camaro people. We don't like Mustangs. You might have a beautiful ride, but I'm going to hate on it because it's Mustang. At the end of the day, it's American muscle. So yay for you for not driving something that's not American muscle. But, that ride is somebody's pride and joy, and that's why they brought it to the show. That ride might be a hot mess. You might look at it and be like, what were you thinking? Why did you bring that here? Maybe you should have put that in rat rods and let them deal with it, or but you don't know. That car could have been something that they were working on with their father or their uncle or any number of things. And that person may have died. And now they're leaving that car as is. And just, what are you doing? And they're leaving that car as is because that was what that car looked like when that loved person of theirs died. And so they're just letting that car keep going the way it was the last time they and that person worked on it. You don't know. You don't know the story. So don't destroy whatever love belongs to the person and that car. Let it go. Let it go. So I'm gonna quote Thumper. I'm absolutely gonna quote Thumper. Sue me. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Just don't. Ask them questions about it. People love to talk about their stuff. So ask them questions about it. Learn why they thought that car was good enough to bring to the show. I mean, at the very least, you're going to find maybe an amazing story, or you're going to find something that you are absolutely going to laugh your bum off and be able to go back and talk about away from them. Have those laughs and those stories once you leave the show, but not at the show. Watch your littles, guys. Watch your littles. You are responsible for your littles. I'm not responsible for your littles. I love to see cars at kids at car shows. I love it. That's the next generation. I love people bringing their kids to shows. I hate it too, but I love that they're there. Train them. I want them to learn about the cars. I want my littles to learn about the cars because I want my littles to take the car eventually and continue the generations after me loving the cars and taking them to shows and doing what I do with them. I want that to happen. So, what I don't want is their sticky little hands because I just ate cotton candy or whatever they were eating. I don't want that all over the outside of my car, or worse, the inside of my car because their kid got in my car. I don't want them driving their little car on the side of my car. Um, I don't want them licking my car. These are things that I've seen, guys. I'm not making this stuff up. This is stuff that has actually happened to my car. Um, I I don't want to see them stolen. I don't want somebody picking up somebody's kid and walking off with them. I don't want them to get hit by somebody because somebody's not paying attention. I don't want anything going on like that that's horrible to happen to these people's littles. So keep your littles. Know where your littles are. Teach them about their hands. Hands go in the pockets, not on the rockets. So teach them the proper way to take care of their kids while they're at the car show. I have seen some amazing behaviors out of children at car shows, and I have seen some horrifying behaviors. It can be done. I have seen 2-year-olds act better at car shows than I have seen 10-year-olds act. Guys, that's all about parents. Parent your children. Um, be sensitive to people that are running around with cameras and video cameras and stuff like that. There are going to be people that are just running around taking pictures, but there are going to be people that are running around like with cameras that belong to organizations that are not just people taking pictures of your car. There are people running around with cameras that, yeah, I've seen some children that are better than adults too, Linda. You don't know the difference between somebody who's taking a picture of a car that they're just gonna take back and share with their family members, or people that are taking pictures or video of your car, and it's gonna show up on the news or in a magazine or on YouTube or some crazy thing like that. That picture or those 2 minutes that they're filming could mean a huge difference to the owner of that car, don't photobomb. Don't be like, dude, I'm trying to stand here and look at this car. Can you just wait? No, get out of the way. Let them have a couple of seconds. That couple of seconds is not going to hurt you for them to do whatever they're doing. And definitely, if somebody is filming, don't just walk in front of them, or they're trying to take a picture, walk around them. Guys, it's not that big of a deal. That could be your car, and somebody could be doing it to a photographer or videographer who's trying to take pictures of your car for a magazine. You want some Momo walking in front of them, and then they're like, okay, well, that picture's shot. We can't use that. We'll just use the other car. Be thoughtful. Um, car show planning. I don't know if you guys have ever planned a car show. Car show planning and execution is hell. Guys, it is absolutely horrendous. So if you end up at a show and they have done an amazing job, let them know. If you end up at a show and they have not really knocked it out of the ballpark, and you want to let them know that they have some room for improvement, find out how you can give them some corrective criticism by maybe email, or ask how you can reach them later. Don't find them and spend 20 minutes ripping them a new butthole right at the show, because they are clearly overwhelmed anyways. They don't need that. They really don't. It's not going to help the situation. You going and telling them that they really suck is not going to turn the show around because you told them that. It's just going to make it worse. So just tell them, hey, I would really love to, you know, I've done this before and I would really love to share some thoughts with you. Do you have a card or a way for me to get a hold of you that maybe, I would love to help you next year, or give you some pointers, or just share my thoughts with you. Um, I think you've done some things really well, and I think there's some things that maybe could be improved next year. And then just leave it at that. They will love you for not ripping them a new butt right in the middle of the show that they know is probably failing. Be respectful of noise. We're all trying to have a good time. We're all trying to visit with each other. We're all trying to enjoy the show. We're trying to listen to the people that are speaking, trying to give away raffle tickets or whatever, or we're just trying to listen to the person that's talking to us, that's sitting right next to us. I I get it. You're excited about the new headers, or the new exhaust, or the new radio, or subwoofers that you just put in. Eh, that's great. There's a time and a place for all that, and it's not here and it's not now. Don't blare your engine. Don't scream your radio. Like, we don't care. Do that somewhere else. I don't wanna be screaming at somebody who's sitting in my lap because you felt the need to start your car and rev the engine in the middle of a show. Seriously? Like, what if somebody's baby is sleeping? Like, good job. It's now screaming. It's yours. You deal with it. Unless it's a sanctioned thing. Like, I know at Camaro Fest at a certain time of night, everybody screams their engines. That's great. It's planned, it's expected, and if your child was asleep at that time, you shouldn't have been out there. Don't try to have a conversation during that. That's on you. When you leave, leave respectfully. Peeling out and acting like a complete Momo when you leave the show is not helping anybody. It's A, going to make it so that the show can't return to that location. B, um, keep your rubber. Nobody wants to see you act like a goon. It's stupid. It's dangerous. Somebody could get hurt. You could wreck your car into something. Like, have the Mustangs not proven this point? We don't need the accidents. You don't need a ticket, and people don't need to get hurt. We're not standing around going, "Oh, look at that guy. That's awesome." We're not. We're standing around going, what an a-hole. Like, this is not helping anybody. Leave nicely. Because, we don't feel like bailing you out of jail later. So, so there's that. Fashion, guys, you've seen it. You have seen it. Car shows are not fashion shows. We're going to see the cars. We're not going to see you guys, or what you're wearing. If you want to go to a fashion show, go to Fashion Week. We're going to check out the cars. It's a million degrees on the blacktop, so dress appropriately. But again, we're going to a car show, not a strip club. Um, I don't want to see junk in the trunk on you or your car. So, clean that up. Like, know what you're doing. Reach up and see if anything is hanging out that nobody wants to see. Okay. Bend over, make sure nothing is hanging out that nobody wants to see. These are all actions that you're going to be doing while you're cleaning your car. A good friend of mine that I walk with every morning, bless his heart, love the heck out of him, has lost a ton of weight. Oh, so proud of him. High five. Um, sat down the other day in a pair of shorts, and his wife told him that her her goodies were hanging out of his pant leg, and that he was not allowed to wear those shorts anymore because he's lost so much weight now that those shorts are exposing his stuff. So, guys, great for her, not for him to be wearing at a car show. He was unaware of this. Good thing they hadn't left the house. So, but if you don't follow those, look those things over before you leave the house, you don't know until you get out to the car show. He would have never known if she wouldn't have been like, "Oh, honey, no, that's exciting for me, but not for anybody else. That's my stuff, not for anybody else." So, you know, look yourself over. That's what mirrors are for. Know what's going on before you get to the car show. You don't want to twist and reach for something and girls, there's your girls. How embarrassing. Might make some people excited, but might really make some other people not so happy. Proper footwear, for sure. We've all seen it. You're at a car show, you're like walking through all these cars, and you see people in 4-inch platform heels. You're not going to sit and tell me that your feet feel great. My feet hurt looking at your feet. That can't be comfortable. There's no way. There's no way. You can't be comfortable. Like, wear something that's comfortable. And don't forget to take your sunblock and your bug spray and all that kind of stuff so that you're not burnt to a crisp, because that's not comfortable either. So just remember, car shows are family events. People bring their children, those littles we were talking about just a minute ago. People's grandmothers are out there. There's a good chance you could end up on the news with your car, and you don't want people to be like, "Oh, there's that amazing Camaro," and that like really floozy looking chick that drives it. Like, nobody wants that. Right, guys? Nobody wants that. So remember to wear things that don't have vulgar sayings and stuff like that on it, because you never know when you might end up on the news, and that could keep you from being footage. You could have an amazing car and somebody will come up and interview you, and your shirt says F this or something on it, and it may be fun and cute and we're all laughing and we think it's a great shirt and it's whatever, but your footage won't get played because of what was on your shirt. So, um, pimp your club, pimp your favorite YouTube, pimp your favorite car, all that kind of stuff, but keep it clean and keep it fun. And then, just dress appropriately. So no place for, like the girls were just saying, Bridget was just saying, it's not a place for heels. Probably not a place for bikinis either, unless they're doing a car wash for charity or something like that. I know you'll probably find pictures of me online from back in the day at car shows in bikinis, but we were doing a charity car wash at the car show, so we were rocking the bikinis for a reason. So, guys, if we don't have any questions, I know there's a crazy debate going on right now that everybody wants to see. I know Andy's trying to watch it too. I'm starting to lose my voice. We kind of did half of this out and half of this in. Andy made dinner, so I'd really love to go eat some of that dinner. If anybody has any questions, I'll answer those. Otherwise, you can shoot me an email. I know this was kind of an off scheduled um, girl cave tonight so that we could not be doing this on 4th of July. All right. Any questions? Email me if anybody has any gens besides 5th and 6th and you want any questions answered about your batteries, let me know. I will let you guys know on Wednesday if how Onyx fares when we go to plug her in to see if she needed a new battery. I'll let you guys know how that goes. Have a great night. Let's see how this debate turns out. It's playing behind me. We will talk to you guys next Wednesday. Peace out and have a great weekend. Be safe, guys, and let us know how all the car shows go this weekend. Wear your seatbelts.